Welcome up to my YouTube channel. My name is VassaOlga. In today's video, we're going to be talking about contour. Basically about my side contour, probably my forehead contour as well. If you're interested in my nose contour technique, then please check out one of my previous videos. The link is going to be down in the description box. But as for now, let's focus on this really beautiful contour. I used lots of moisturizers, some toner, and a little bit of my sun cream, some primer. So my face is super hydrated. That is the main reason why I'm gonna go in with this really beautiful LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. This is super warm color and it's given the bronzer shade. Hear me out. At first we're gonna layer this underneath my foundation, as I always do, and then blend out with my foundation brush. If you're new to my channel, I don't really do this over my forehead because it's going to give too much color and it's going to give so much orangeness to my foundation. That's why I'm placing this over my cheekbones and my nose contour. That's pretty much it. And I'm going to use a little bit of my NYX lipstick. This formula is super dry. That's why I use it as my blush, a couple of dots. You can mix this in with some moisturizers. I don't really do this because this formula is dry, and if I apply some moisturizer, it's going to take off some of my contour underneath. Now I'm gonna do the rest of my foundation. You can check this out. I have lots of foundation videos. And I'm gonna show you the rest of my contour technique. And I'm finally back with my brows done, with my foundation on, and it's all set. Now we're going to a little bit different contour routine. You can see that I have the slightest hint of my previous contour, but right now I added a little bit of warmth, and now I want to go to a real contour. I know that lots of you guys don't really own contour because you'd say, oh, I see lots of YouTubers and influencers, they do use some bronzers. It looks a little bit dull if you use just contour as it is. That's why I was experimenting, playing with my makeup routine, and then I discovered that if underneath I have something warm, a little bit warm, and then I go to a contour, then it might look really cool and pretty. So let me show you how I do my recent routine. I'm gonna go to my angle brush and I'm gonna grab these two shades. Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do is grab both of the shades. It's much easier for me to use this big and fluffy brush instead of this angle one. And I'm gonna tap it off. We don't really need lots of this contour. And I'm gonna place it in this area. You have to do this with a light hand and then try to bring those up. Of course, go ahead and use an angle brush if you have a real contour. Bronzer basically is warm shade, like warm brown, but if we're talking about contour, it's more like cool tone shades, and it's basically used to sculpture a face. If you see lots of transformations where like makeup artists try to change the appearance of a person, and when they try to, you know, sculpt some cheeks to create the illusion of a little bit different face, then it's basically they're going to a contour instead of bronzer, because contour is sculpturing. Okay, let me grab both of the shades like that. Let me try it. And then I'll go over with my angle brush. I'll warm this up a little bit with my More Makeup Academy blush, and then I'll place it on top like that. Then flip my brush and start blending it out. Looking super pretty, a little bit cool, but with underneath base, warm base. I still use bronzer for my forehead because contour for the forehead is gonna look really off and weird. And then my nose contour, you can check out my previous nose contour routine. I explained this in detail how I do this with a mix of contour and bronzer. So I'll be back in a sec. I did off camera my forehead and used my contour. You can see that it's a little bit warmer than the shade of my contour. And then I used my setting spray. This is my regular setting spray as I always do. And on top, right away, I use my beauty blender like that. When I use some setting spray, I just use my beauty blender. And a little bit of highlighter. So what I'm doing is grabbing my wet beauty blender, and on top of all those powders, I'm using my highlighter. That's my routine that I do every single time. And to warm this up a little bit more when everything is set, when everything is done, I'm gonna go with my liquid blush and use some warmth over my contour. And look at this, it's not as beaming as my previous contour routine. So it's kind of like subtle, like a real shadow, and I really love it. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite routine? Is it a bronzer or contour? And if it feels like when you use contour, it's dull and deadly looking, it's probably because it's lacking a little bit of warmth. Okay guys, and this is the final result. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. I wanted to focus on a contour, and I am obsessed. I really love when there's a combination of color and bronzer at the same time. Love this nose routine. This is one of the best, I'd say, nose contour routines I've ever done. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and I'm gonna see you in my next video, hopefully. Bye bye.